Good morning. Hi, YouTubers. This is my part 7, and welcome back. Welcome back, and thank you for the support. Um, so just continuing from part 6 of how I spoke about the relationship I actually went into with a guy I used to work with at the old place I used to work at, being electronic toll collections, and how he abused me emotionally. And well, yeah, so that was that. And what I actually forgot to mention to you guys is that I also went to therapy. Luckily, I was blessed that the company that I work for actually paid for it. It's just part of the like a wellness program. So, yeah, so I went to therapy. The reason for the therapy actually was because I had a whole lot of resentment towards my son. Um, I never wanted to spend time with him, and like any chance I got, I would want to leave, spend a weekend away, or anything like that. And it was all because of, my son is a splitting image of his dad, Tebogo. He was, and he unfortunately was just a constant reminder of what I was going through. I blamed him for the abuse. I resented him that I had to be a single parent while the biological father was living his own life. I resented my son for a lot of things, and it was really unfair for me because, um, like, it wasn't his fault, you know? And I went to therapy. I also resented him, because of my father had stopped talking to me for 4 years. So now I only had my sister. My father wasn't talking to me, so it was like a whole lot of resentment to my son, and I'm glad that what something inside me said this is not normal, and you need to work at it. So I went to therapy, um, spoke about my concerns, my issues, and it did help a lot. Right now, I will kill for my son. I love my son, and like, I know that it's not his fault, and it wasn't his fault either for what I went through. Part of it was my fault, and part of it was the abuser's fault. My fault, be it I stayed way too long. Like, I stayed longer than I should have. I should have lived way before even I fell pregnant. I think it was a matter of he's my first everything. He broke my virginity. I'm supposed to get married to this man. Guys, my first everything will kill you. It will kill you so, so well, for the sake of the kids. That will also kill you because um I really don't see a point of being in an abusive relationship, um and exposing your children to such, like, it's not it's not something that would be ideal for any child. And the sad thing is about abuse is you, the parent or the mother, isn't the only one abused. It will fall off to the kids as well, and they will feel it, and that'll force them to have thick skin, or such things, and which sometimes really it isn't necessary. So I went to therapy. It really was needed, and I'm glad that I took that step. So obviously that was my journey in terms of healing and trying to heal from the abuse. And as I said, then as I continued to date a few frogs who are really aren't important for me to mention, because some of them were not really abusers but rather hurt, because it takes a whole lot of maturity from a guy to actually date someone with a child. And what they didn't understand was that I didn't need a father for my son. Like I've never needed a, a father for Ukahiso, I always knew that it will come. And then came me meeting now my fiance. We met. I don't want to get into details in terms of how we met or where we met, but I had just broken up with a guy, and it was really a short lived relationship, but sweet talker of notes. And we had just broken up, and I had told myself, you know what, like, I don't I didn't want umfana just near me. I just didn't want a guy near me. Like I wasn't interested, I wasn't having it. And when and I remember, like, I prayed. I remember I prayed and I fasted, and I said, God, my next relationship, can this person be the one? Like, I am tired of loving people and then scaring them off, because the guy that I broke up with before I met my fiance, like, I had done something really loving and drastic, only to find I scared him off. I scared him off, guys. Izinto abantu babangazijwayelanga zizabathusa babaleke. So I scared him off, and I just thought I remember there were times where he said, the way you love me sometimes scares me. And I was like, but me loving you shouldn't be a bad thing. Like, you shouldn't, it shouldn't make you feel like that. So, so I met my fiance, Gatleho, um, in a place where I never thought I'd meet someone. And we hit it off. We hit it off first day. There's a picture that we took actually the first day we met, within 30 minutes of introducing, like, the introduction between us two. And it's been absolutely amazing. You know, to be with someone who tries and heals a heart he didn't break, who pitches in and steps up in raising a child that's not his, when he didn't even have a child before that, you know. And uhlule abantu abaningi, man. Uhlule, I've dated guys older than u Ukatleho, man, and they came with the, like, my previous relationship with he, and he didn't want to be a stepfather, yet he was raised by a stepdad. You know what I mean? So he stepped up, and I didn't ask him to, but because of he loved me, it just happened automatically. He is such a loving person. He is so sweet. Is very soft spoken. Loves to dance. Is a really great dancer, guys. I think when we met, like, he asked me out, and I thought, this guy, like, and then what driver uputi. I know. Then I was like, yes, definitely nyakfaga, and he shows me each and every day, like, he reminds me why I said yes to him, and we've been together for 6 years, and it's been absolutely amazing. He isn't perfect, guys. Like, don't get me wrong, don't think like nothing is ever wrong or bad. Like, we've went through trials and tribulations, his family members having issues with me having a child. He didn't have a child, so his first child is with me, my second born. and and family having their own opinions about the relationship. But we have actually survived everything and everyone. We still are. There's still a whole lot of battles that we're fighting and a whole lot of politics that I don't want to mention, especially because this is a family now I'm choosing to go into. But yeah, so we met on the 22nd of June, and then we started dating the very next day, and went out on dates. And I remember, um 6 months into a relationship, I got really sick. Like, I got really, really sick. And I remember the December, because I started dating in June, and the December I had spent like Gubo. I had spent it to a Protea, and I got really, really sick. January, I was admitted in hospital and then diagnosed with TB. Uh, and I didn't know that until, like, for the longest of times, because I would self medicate. Guys, self medication is not a way to go. I know that's how my mother passed. And I got diagnosed with TB, and dude stuck. He would visit me. His mom would visit me every second day. She would, she would, she would come from Soweto, come to Phosphorus, and visit me, check me, and I was vomiting a lot. I lost a whole lot of weight. But he stuck, and that event made me see that this is my husband. I mean, when a guy 6 months into a relationship, uh, you are dating this girl, she gets sick. Abanye abantu bazobaleka, abanye abantu bazobaleka bathi, yo, lo uyagula uzongigulisa, and things like that. And guys, what TB is associated with. You know that TB is associated in HIV, and I thought to myself, damn, like, you know, and I said to myself, if Nyagula, because surprisingly so, the hospital didn't take my blood, or maybe without my knowledge, knowing that they're taking my blood for a HIV test or anything like that. So I was admitted for almost 2 months in hospital, then got discharged. I started treatment, and I remember when I started the treatment, it was really, really hard for me to actually swallow the pills. The pills were this big, and I remember it was really, really hard, but I couldn't recall what was the reason for me to actually struggle to take the pills. And then I realized that it's actually the fact that how my mom passed, and the cause of my mom's death was her taking her pills and self-medicating. And when I came to that realization and accept that that happened to her, but with me, I'm being treated, and I've been given this treatment by the doctor, so it's okay for me to take. And then that was when it was a lot easier for me to take. I remember I had tight lungs, and my rib cage was just tight, and I was just struggling a whole lot. And I remember being discharged. My sister used to work, and our helper also used to clean, like, at my sister's house as well as home at Oslo. And my now future mother-in-law, in a couple of months, um she said to me, and she took out, like, bring her over, I will take care of, because she doesn't work. Guys, 6 months into the relationship, I'm already living Gabon Fana. The mother's taking care of me. And that was a lot. Like, that was a journey for all of us. I remember um Katla went to go eat just to check if he was infected, and he wasn't. Gahiso was also not infected. And I remember, as I continued to take my treatment, I, I I would cough less now, because I used to cough a lot. I would cough less, And I remember I was sleeping, and it's really, really hard for me to sleep as well. Like, I remember when I was sleeping, and then Ogadla, I remember he touched me by mistake. So I think he was just checking if I'm still breathing or not. Guys, yeah, showing it's a shame, I put him through the most. He was probably thinking, but God, why? I just found this woman and I love her crazy and she loves me just as much, and now you're going to take her away from me. And yeah, so like that was evident to me that Ogatla was my husband. Like that was evident. And then um we went on, I was treated, I was taken care of. And I remember like it was bad, guys. Like ETB is hectic to a sense where I couldn't even turn my when I was sleeping, I couldn't even turn on my own. So I would wake him up and we would count 1, 2, 3, and then I would turn. But now it's like also preparing myself for the pain that I'm about to feel because of the lungs and the rib cage was it like it felt really, really tight. And because of you medication you get your TB, it cleans you out. Like it cleans you out any prevention or anything that you're on. And that's how Rehabeti was conceived. I remember I found out that I was pregnant when I was on the 5th month of my TB treatment. Most with the treatment is taken for 6 months. Yeah, so I found out that I was pregnant on my 5th month. And then like the relationship with my dad was like, okay, it has never ever been all right. Like there was no way. I tried salvaging that relationship and nothing worked. Nothing has been working. But that relationship, yeah. So yeah, that's when I found out that I was pregnant. So I'm going to do a Q&A of any questions that you guys might have. Kindly please prop them through. You can write down at the comments as well. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. Um, it's August, guys. My birthday month. I'm so excited. I'm turning 29, the last of the 20s. So yeah, and it's going to be great.